Yeah.
I got to tell you that your victory speech after you beat Joanna was my all-time favorite. Because it wasn't even just about you or about the fight. It wasn't about anything. It was just you expressing yourself. Pat, what are you doing over there? You all right?
Checking out this
okay.
little tassel.
Yeah, no. I just think that
it was an awesome victory speech. It was really amazing. It was you were just spilling your heart out, and it was in your moment to shine. And in your moment to shine, you didn't make it about you.
I think I fight better that way. When I'm it's always about me. Like throughout the training camp, like everybody, like my coaches and teammates, they're always helping me, and it gets to be a bit much sometimes, and I want to help other people. It fills my spiritual cup more.
Your spiritual cup.
Yeah, I think that I've. If your hand's closed to give, you can't be open to receive, kind of thing. And I think that the more that I can give to people, the more that I can get myself. And I think that just like plants and animals, the way if you look at nature, everything is a symbiotic relationship. And I think that humans can be the same way.
That's an interesting way of looking at things. Have you always looked at things like that?
No. I shouldn't say not always, but I always was a person that, wanted to be outside, wanted to be in nature. I grew up in a urban jungle in Milwaukee, and just concrete everywhere, no place to go outside except for, just playing in the alleys and stuff. But my lineage is from Lithuania, where they're very in tune with nature, and they're pagans and / Christian. And so they really, just my whole family, they come from living off the land and stuff like that. And so that's always been something I wanted to do. I was just put in this situation, just to, try and do martial arts and trying to I guess control my emotions and stuff, just living in this, chaotic environment that I grew up in. And nature is where I felt the most peace at. So that's always something that I connected with. And then the more that I kind of focus on nature and animals and stuff like that, I noticed that, there's I try to live my life the same way.
Well, it's just interesting leading up to that fight, too, that you are kind of like the antidote to a lot of the things that people are getting annoyed at in MMA. All the trash talking and all the negativity and all the, fighting at press conferences. And you just shut all that shit down with Joanna.
I mean, there needs to be balance, It's I like entertainment, I'm not... I should talk sometimes too,
Right.
But there just has to be a balance, and it has to be honest too. If you really feel this way about somebody, if you're really upset with this person, say how you feel. But don't just go out of your way just to be entertaining because you think it's gonna be funny or something, or you think it's just gonna be it's not genuine,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But it was just the way you handled yourself, because her whole thing is talking shit. Her whole thing is scaring people. I'm the boogie woman coming to get you.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And you were just dead-faced. And I think that fucked her head up. I really
think so. You ever see that video of what was that video?
How to humble a bully? How to humble a bully?
Not that one. The one you just showed me earlier was is this dude standing in front of an elephant?
Oh, yeah.
And he
started
charging at him. And then he was calm, and
that
he
guy
just
got
stood
lucky.
there. Yeah.
That guy got lucky.
Very lucky.
He got lucky
I don't know
that
how
elephant
crazy
really
he
didn't
was,
want to trample him.
Yeah, we just watched it. Elephant is coming through and is
Yeah, I've seen that.
And the guy just stands there in one spot and it stops.
That guy got lucky.
But yeah, I think that's
Don't try that at home,
no,
kids.
Yeah, no. Yeah, not
But
advertising
that's a different
that
thing,
at all.
obviously, because you're talking about an animal.
Right. But it's just, I think it's a good analogy to draw from Joanna's energy. She was very chaotic and very in my face and very threatening.
Intimidating.
Yeah. And don't go out of your way to stand in front of an elephant that's running at you. Don't put yourself in that position. But I had to be there. That's my job, So
right.
So when you're in those situations where you you don't know what to do, you just stay calm.
Yeah, well, you didn't just stay calm. You stayed eerily calm. And you were reciting the Lord's Prayer. When I asked you that, I was like, whoa. I was like, what are you saying over there? And you're like, I'm reciting the Lord's Prayer. Like, whoa.
Yeah. Honestly, because the whole training camp was just crazy. But that week in particular, I was convinced that this might be my last fight. This might be my last day on earth. Like I was so just like ready for anything at that point. You know?
Why were you thinking that might be your last fight?
I don't know. Some crazy. I don't know. Just because I don't know. I think I started to think that almost like every fight, just because it's
crazy way to make
tough.
a living.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. But it's the best thing in the world too.
Especially all of the stressors that came along with this fight in particular.
Right.
Especially
Yeah.
all of those, like, and
Extra press.
then we've had in that fight we had a few, like, kind of, I don't want to say magical moments, but say for instance we bring Mishka with us everywhere we go.
Your dog.
Yeah, our flight was delayed 4 hours, and when we landed like a few hours after that truck drove through the park and killed all the people in New York, which was right by our hotel, which if we would have been there on time, we would have signed the posters and then been outside at the park walking Mishka. So, I mean, just little things like that. Like, we would have been outside maybe at that spot and had been witness to that thing.
Or
go
at
down.
least would have heard it or something, you know,
Right.
and that would have affected me, you know. And
The Antifa march.
yeah, and there was just all this stuff about, you know, like people going to be protesting and stuff like that. And they even, like, the day of the fight. And I just get a lot of anxiety over that stuff. I get anxiety over, like, big crowds of people. And it's like, you know, these people are crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, yeah, I wasn't even just thinking about the fight with Joanna. It was more than that, you know. It was like what all her energy represented to me, like all my past, like just negative people that you know want to strike fear into your heart, you know.
Right.
And I wasn't gonna let that happen, even though I was scared. But you know, I wasn't gonna stop doing what I was doing just because of that.
But you were like eerily focused. Like one time
Yeah.
she stuck her fist in your face and touched your face. You didn't even move.
Yeah, because I know she needed a reaction from me. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like with anybody. You know,
But
if you
that's
don't give energy to something negative, you don't feed the fire. You know.
Yeah, that's got to be a mind fuck for her, though, right? 'Cause
Right.
She's so used to people reacting to her
Yeah.
and headbutting, you know, going head to
Right.
head with her and trying to show her, and you just stayed calm.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, it's either you really, I mean, it's either one of two things. Either you really dislike me enough to, like, you know, put your hands on me outside of the competition, or it's fake, you know, or it's a character, or you're just doing this for show.
Right.
You know, it's either one of the two. And I just don't think she's really a bad person. I just think that, you know, she's put in this position and maybe she, you know, that's what she felt like she had to do.
Well, I wrote something about the Volkan Ozdemir Daniel Cormier fight the other day, that what Ozdemir was trying to do and what Cormier was trying to do is like they're trying to sow seeds of doubt, that you're trying to, there's a real issue with someone that's about to fight where you're about to compete and it's this crazy nerve-wracking thing and the unknown is always there. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
So if someone can convince you, I'm going to fuck you up, you're like, God damn, is he going to fuck me up? Like
Yeah.
you really start thinking it if you
Right.
if it's in your head. And that one of the things that Daniel said in that fight was that there's levels to this thing. Like you think you're gonna come in and fuck me up. There's levels to
Right.
this. You haven't experienced this yet.
Right. And that's just something that I have a lot of respect for Joanna still, you know, and I think it's great that I was put in this position to face her because I had to get better in order, like I had to get up to that level, you know, to face her. And I had to do a lot of research and work on my, you know, mental stability. I mean, she kept saying I was mentally unstable, like in those, you know, phone calls and stuff, like the conference calls beforehand. And I was like, at
Why
first
was
I
she
was
saying
kind
you
of,
were mentally unstable? What was the?
I don't know.
Because Rose is mentally unstable.
Yeah. Well, my dad is.
She was correct.
Like
Yeah.
in what way?
I mean, well, I don't know. To me, I can't speak for myself, but like,
Pat, you
it's
wanna
just
speak for her?
it's just
I can speak for her.
Please do.
I mean, I'm sure you could come up with all kinds of stuff, but
No,
Yeah,
it's like everyone getting ready for a fight.
Right.
There are some people who can be excited about the fight the entire time and they don't give a shit about anything and they love it. And then there's also the ones who get ready for a fight, and while getting ready for the fight, it's nerve-wracking. And especially with all of the boogie woman and all the you're mentally unstable and then the history with her dad and her history growing up and just all of those things coming to a head, this was exactly what Rose wanted it to be, the scariest possible situation for her to be in
Yeah.
New York with the Antifa march that happened in front of the hotel the morning of we almost didn't make it to the fight.
I don't know, man. It's like somebody asked me, like, what's different since you've been champ? And I'm like, really? I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what's different. You know, like, obviously, you're sitting here talking to you. Like, that's cool. But
I would have talked to you before.
Yeah, I mean.
But it's kind of cool to talk to you now that this crazy thing happened.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, things are different. You know, like, I definitely notice more people recognizing me. And
well, you have a very
like
unique look too with your shaved head.
Yeah, I can't hide. Don't worry.
You'd have to wear wigs to go to the movies, right?
Right. Yeah.
And you guys are going to fight again in April. Back in New York.
Yeah. That'll be cool. Thug Rose coming to Brooklyn.
Thug Rose is coming to Brooklyn.
When the fight was over, did you take some time off? Like, how did it even sink in? Like, how long did it
we
take?
had to go. We had to get the fuck out of there. We had to go home. Like, like all that stuff. Like the truck accident and like the protests and all this paranoia that I had to hide away. I'm a hermit, so like I like to be.
Bro, we went straight to the airport 2:30.
2:30 in the morning.
Our flight wasn't until 9 a.m.
Yeah, we just headed to the
from the
airport
arena.
because we heard there was gonna be a marathon, right? Yeah, the next day.
Yeah, we heard there was gonna be a marathon, but also Rose did what she did, and as soon as it happened, we all went, "Oh fuck!" Oh,
I feel like I robbed a bank. Like I was like, gotta go home.
Everybody, be cool. Just keep smiling.
Wow. Yeah, that was
I mean, obviously, I knew that was gonna happen. Like I actually envisioned me knocking her out with like an uppercut in the third round because I thought she's gonna be like overly aggressive after a certain point and she would get frustrated. That didn't happen because she thought I was throwing a jab. But yeah.
Why do you think that? I mean, when you went into that fight, she was such an overwhelming favorite. She was thought of as being one of the pound for pound top fighters in any weight class. And why did you think you were going to knock her out?
Because everybody tries to take her down. Everybody's so desperate for the takedown that it's like her striking. I mean, just from what I see, I stood across from Valentina Shevchenko and like we go like back and forth. Like it's not a thing to me. Like I got Pat H.G. Berry in my corner. I got Trevor Whitman in my corner, and I've done Taekwondo striking like my whole life. Like it's not something that I've never seen before, and just that Dutch style of kickboxing, like it's great, it's hard, it's very intimidating to stand across from, but it's very rhythmic on the beat. Like it's not, I don't know, it's just something that it looks scary, but it's not to be scared of.
That's interesting the way you're putting it, because most people thought of her as being like this very solid. Her fundamentals are rock solid. Yeah. She's incredibly technical. Vicious jab. Yeah. But you just saw that the rhythm was predictable.
I mean,
we knew everything she was going to do before she did it.
It's just we've been watching it for a long time.
Right.
And she is she's the most dominant female. Like these girls could not hang with her, and she's still the best out there,
Joanna's been on the radar since she beat Carla. Like we knew that was the fight since she beat Carla, and it was just a matter of how were we going to get there? Like what route were we going to take to get there? And so when the fight came around, this entire training camp was mental. It wasn't physical. The whole training camp, every day was mental. Mentality, mind, mental strength, just mental. The entire training camp. And one of the keys to the fight was knowing what she's going to do before she does it. And I mean, not just in the fight, but in the interviews, in the press conference.
Backstage.
Like we knew everything that was going to happen, and it all happened exactly the way we knew it was going to.
Wow.
Yeah. This was an excellent dissection of a person, of an athlete.
Now, what is the feeling like having gone through that, having accomplished it, having literally blown it out of the water, right? You smashed her in the first round. Crazy moment. Yeah. Now you got to do it again.
I know. Yeah, that's the tough part.
What's the thought? What's the thought process?
Just you can't make the what was the saying he always say? I don't know, I'm gonna mess it up. But yeah, you can't paint the Mona Lisa twice, so it can't be the same approach, it has to be something different. It has to be but at the same time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it either. So it's got to be a combination of we're gonna keep doing what we're doing, but keep getting better. Obviously, all the time. I mean, that sounds a little general and cliche.
Like we don't prepare for one in particular person. It's always Rose is on the road to getting her black belt, And that's what the mission is. I mean, of course, we do get into particulars based on who it is, but that's only for a very short period of time. The whole goal is just to make Rose a black belt in grappling, wrestling, striking, like
and just in life in general,
interviews, everything. Just become a black belt, become a master of all of it. And that's been the goal since
like
we started.
even another, like he was saying, the mentality of this last training camp. It wasn't just like okay, I'm gonna journal, which I do, journal a lot, or I'll like we talk about just doing like a float tank or something like that. Like those little mental exercises are great, but also like working on creativity. What's up?
I was about to say I was just doing the number of ice baths you took.
Oh yeah, I did a lot. Ice baths, yeah. Ugh, the last one was the worst.
Every day.
Every
day, but like every day to a point where it actually became challenging for me to get the water colder because I was like, this is ridiculous. How she can get in and now it's gotten to a point now it's been under 25 seconds. Like when you first get it, it's like ha 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 boom.
Right. Like
it's under 20 seconds. Under 20 seconds and she's just stone faced. It's just amazing.
Yeah. The last one that I did, like it was hurting so bad I was like crying. Like, I never had an ice bath where I started crying, like, because it hurt so bad. But anyway, like, yeah, so that, and then
do you find a lot of benefit from that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do. Like, I mean,
reduction of inflammation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then just, like, mentally and emotionally, too.
Right.
Because it's like, why is this so scary? But it hurts,
Yeah.
But it's good. I mean, if you can get in a cold ice bath and nobody standing across from you is going to scare you. There's nothing scarier than the cold. But